Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about the following concepts, which are operations on real numbers, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of real numbers. Then some identities for real numbers, we will discuss about them. Rationalization of a denominator. Then geometrical representation of an irrational number on real number line, and then NCERT example questions we are going to discuss. Questions of exercise 1.5 also we will discuss in this video. So let us continue with the next slide here. Recalling some properties. So we have various properties related to the rational and irrational numbers. So one of them here we can see rational numbers satisfy the commutative, associative, and distributive laws for addition and multiplication, which you people must have studied in previous classes. If we add, subtract, multiply, or divide, except by zero, two rational numbers, we still get a rational number. That is, rational numbers are closed with respect to addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Whenever we do such operations on rational numbers, we always get a rational number there. That's why we call it closed property. It turns out that irrational numbers also satisfy the commutative, associative, and distributive laws for addition and multiplication, but the sum, difference, quotients, and uh, products of irrational numbers are not always irrational. Whenever you do division or multiplication with irrational numbers, it's not necessary that always the results will be an irrational. So next here we have the operations on irrational number. That's the first example explains the addition of two irrational number, which are root 6 and minus root 6, and we get the result here 0. So 0 is an example of rational number, because 0 can be written as p upon q form, 0 upon 1. So here we have the sum of two irrational numbers, a rational number. Next we see in B part, root 2 minus root 2 difference is also a rational number. Then root 3 into root 3 is 3 product of two irrational number, and then we have the root 17 upon root 17 is equal to 1. So these are the examples where we have the product, summation, difference, and multiplication of two irrationals to be rationals, right? So now next, if we multiply, divide two irrationals, the result can be irrationals also. If I say root 2, if you multiply with root 3, the product is root 6, that's an irrational number. So in this case, we understand here, and it can be the operations having done on these irrational numbers, the result can be rational or irrational. Now next NCERT example, these are the example 13, 14, 15, and we can see here the addition of the values. You can see in 13 part where the like terms are added to root 2 with root 2, because they are the like terms. As we do it in case of algebraic expressions, x can be added with x itself, not y, because x and y can be written as the summation of x plus y. Similarly here, 2 root 2 plus root 2, they are the like values, so they are added and it becomes 3 root 2. Similarly with 5 root 3 and minus 3 root 3, so we have got the difference here, 2 root 3. So this is the example of addition of irrational number. And the second part is the subtraction, and is the multiplication of division of irrational number, that is 6 root 5 divided by 2 root 5. Here we got the result 60. In the in the next example, 15th example, we see the division is being done here, 8 root 15 divided by 2 root 3, and the division result we got quotient here for root 5. So quotient is 4 root 5, that is irrational. So sometimes we are getting rational, sometimes irrational. So this is what the different results are there when you do operations on irrational number. So we conclude from these examples and the previous slides that the sum or difference of a rational number and an irrational number is irrational. The product or quotient of non-zero rational numbers with an irrational number is irrational. If we add, subtract, multiply, or divide two irrationals, the result may be rational or irrational. These are the conclusions. Now, some important identities which we have the in this exercise, before 1.5, the exercise we have certain identities, and these are the identities applicable to solve the questions of exercise 1.5. Here you can see the product within the root sign we have AB, and we can separate the two values, product of root A and product of root A and root B. The product is under root AB. So this is what the case of second, you can see the division of two numbers, real numbers A and B under root. We can take the numbers separately with root. So root A can be divided by root B. So here we have the same result. So these are the identities, very important to understand and to utilize these identities to solve the questions of exercise 1.5. Here in the third part, we can say root A plus root B multiplied with root A minus root B is equal to A minus B. So here the application of identity is A plus B. A minus B is equal to A square minus B square, that we know. You can say X plus Y, X minus Y, X square minus Y square. So root A square minus root B square, it becomes A minus B. Similarly, we can understand the other identities also, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Here, these are the important identities. And now we next have the discussion of NCERT examples. Here in example 16, you can see the use of identities and the solution for all the parts. 5 root 7 plus 2 root 5, they have been multiplied. This is, you can compare it with the multiplication of two binomials as we do in algebraic expressions. Here 5 is multiplied with the entire bracket, then root 7 is multiplied with the entire bracket, and we get the result here. So 5 2 times 10, and 5 root 7 times becomes 5 root 5, and then root 7 2 times becomes 2 root 7, and root 7 root 5 times becomes root 35. So this is the example of the use of identities here, right? So example 2, 3, 4, all these examples have been solved, and the application of identities we have here. Now next, we process of rationalization. We need to understand what is the rationalization. First we have to understand this. When the denominator of an expression contains a term with a square root, that is also called the radical sign, the process of converting it to an equivalent expression whose denominator is a rational number is called rationalizing the denominator. Now you can see from this example, if we are supposed to rationalize 1 upon root 2 value, so we know that denominator is root 2, which is an irrational number. So we need to make it rational. So we are rationalizing the denominator. We are making the denominator from irrational to rational. So root 2 must be multiplied with root 2 itself. So when you multiply root 2 with root 2, it becomes 2. Root 2 whole power 2, and it becomes 2. So we have the result here, root 2 upon 2, and denominator is a rational number now. So we can say we have rationalized 1 upon root 2, and the result is root 2 upon 2. Similarly, you can have the other example here. We have 1 upon root 5 plus root 2. We are supposed to rationalize it. So how can we remove the root sign from root 5 and root 2? What we need to do here is that we need to multiply root 5 plus root 2 with root 5 minus root 2. So we have to multiply the numerator and denominator with the same value, so that equivalent value we will get here. So root 5 minus root 2 one times, then root 5 minus root 2, root 5 plus root 2 times. So here we have the application of identity now, a square minus b square, because a plus b and a minus b becomes a square minus b square. Root 5 square means root 5 into root 5 we get 5, and root 2 into root 2 we get 2. So 5 minus 2, and the denominator we have 3. So the rationalized value of 1 upon root 5 plus root 2 is 3 here, and this is what's called the rationalization of the denominator. So I hope you understood this process of rationalization from these two examples. Now we switch on to the next slide. That is discussion of NCERT examples 19 and 20. Here we have the rationalized value of 5 upon root 3 minus root 5. Again, we see here the sign is negative. So we have to multiply it with root 3 plus root 5, so that we can apply the identity a plus b, a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. So here we have multiplied with 5 and numerator and denominator root 3 minus root 5. Root 3 plus 5 plus root 5 upon root 3 plus root 5. We have taken as numerator and denominator. So there is no change in the value when we take the same numerator and denominator and we multiply it with any value. Then now we have here 5 times root 3 plus root 5. and in denominator we have a square minus b square, so 3 minus 5, root 3 square becomes 3 and root 5 square becomes 5. So we have got the result here, negative result, that is minus 2, and minus sign is taken up, that is with minus 5, so minus 5 upon 2, and root 3 plus root 5. This is what the answer we have got in the 90th example. So I hope you understood it, how we are solving this. Example 20, you can see again the rationalization with the denominator value 7 plus 3 root 2. We have to multiply it by taking the negative sign, 7 minus 3 root 2, and that's what we have done here, and the result we can see is 7 minus 3 root 2 upon 31. So this is what the example 19 and 20 you understood. Now we have the geometrical representation of an irrational number. So how can we represent an irrational number geometrically on the number line? So the question is, represent root 9.3 on the real number line geometrically. So there are various steps we need to follow. The very first step is you need to mark the distance 9.3 units from a fixed point O on a given line to obtain a point B such that OB is equal to 9.3 units. So we have taken O and B, that is 9.3 units. Next, from point B, we have to mark a distance of 1 unit and mark the new point at C. And you can see here in the graph that from the B point we have taken C, and BC is equal to 1 unit. Now next we have to find the midpoint of OC and mark that point as D. So we know that how to find the midpoint of any line. So we take the more than half of the distance and we use the compass. So from considering C as the center and pencil tip taking more than half, you will draw an arc from both sides C and O, and you will cut the arcs up and down, and you will draw the perpendicular bisector of OC. So you will get the midpoint of OC, that is here D. Now next we have to draw a semicircle with center D as radius, DC or DO. So taking D as the center, DO or DC as the radius, we have drawn this semicircle. This is your next step. Now next we have to draw a line perpendicular to OC. So a line is drawn at point B perpendicular to OC using compass and pencil. So you can draw it, the perpendicular. How do we draw it? We take the B as the center and take a semicircle, then we draw the perpendicular from drawing 60 degree and 120 degree values of angles. So you have learned this, how to draw the perpendicular over a line in previous class. So now next we have here the BE is equal to root 9.3. To represent on the number line, let us treat the line BC as the number line with B as 0. So now you consider B as your 0 initial in starting of your number line, starting point, and BE here we have geometrically, there is a proof of this. BE is equal to root 9.3, and now you need to take B as your center, and radius BE. You need to draw an arc from E2 downward that will cut the number line at point F. So BE to BF, we have the distance same, and F is the point which represent root 9.3. So B to F, the distance is under root 9.3 units, and this is how we geometrically represent the rational or irrational number on the number line. So I hope you understood it. You're not supposed to write the steps in your examination, but you need to draw the very neat and clean diagram in your examination, and there should not be any overlapping of the arcs in your constructions. So now we switch on to the next slide. This is about the exercise 1.5, and the questions are here 1 to 5, and we have to discuss this. First question, we are supposed to classify the following numbers as rational or irrational. So we know that sum or difference of a rational and irrational is always an irrational value. So we have 2 rational and minus root 5 as the irrational values. The difference will be irrational itself. Now next we have here root 23 minus root 23 will be cancelled when you open the bracket, and what remains here after solution, cancelling the root 23, the 3 is the value that is left out. So it will be a rational value. Now third, root 7 and root 7 will be cancelling each other. So what is left out is 2 upon 7, and that is a rational value. 1 upon root 2 is an irrational value, because we know that division of a rational and irrational is always an irrational value. Yes, fifth part, 2 pi. 2 pi is an irrational number because we know that pi is an irrational number which is non-terminating, non-repeating. But the approximated value of pi, we assume that that is 22 upon 7, or in decimal we take it up to 2 decimal point or 3 decimal point. So if we are supposed to find 2 pi, that is an irrational value. So now these parts of question number 2 are supposed to be done based on the application of identities that we have discussed in previous slides. Question number 3 here, again we see that pi is defined as the ratio of circumference of a circle to its diameter. This seems and pi is equal to c upon d. This seems to contradict the fact that pi is an irrational value. How will you resolve this contradiction? Here pi is taken as the rational value. That is an assumption, the ratio of circumference and diameter. When we find out the circumference and diameter of any circle of any radius, we see that their decimal representation is always non-terminating, non-repeating. So that's why we say that it is an irrational value. Fourth question, I have discussed about this. Fourth question, in previous slide, we have represented root 9.3 on the number line. And fifth question is about the rationalization. And you can rationalize all these parts. 1 upon root 7 must be multiplied with root 7 upon root 7. Second part, you multiply it root 7 plus root 6 upon root 7 plus root 6. And in the third part, again, change the sign here. That is positive. You make minus and multiply numerator and denominator with root 5 minus root 2 upon root 5 minus root 2. And similarly, we have to do question number fourth part of this fifth question as well. So I hope you understood these questions 1 to 5, how to solve it and how to apply the different concepts or operations of real numbers. Now next, we have the last slide here. May God bless you. Thank you for watching this video. May God bless you. Thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe JJ Learning Classes. Thank you.